Good day, grade 10 learners, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, for today's video lesson ay pag-aaralan natin yung tungkol sa factor theorem. So, another theorem stating that for a polynomial p of x, if p of r equals 0 for a constant r, then the polynomial x minus r is a factor of p of x. So, in this factor theorem, so we can we can determine whether the given binomial is a factor of that given polynomial. So without actually dividing it. So by applying the factor theorem, so we just substitute it, and then upon knowing if the remainder is 0, so therefore we can conclude that the given x minus r is a factor of p of x. So let's have an example. Determine whether x plus 2 is a factor of p of x without actually dividing, where p of x equals to 3x to the 4th plus 5x cubed minus x squared plus x minus 2. So what we are going to do, we just get p of negative 2. And then kapag nakuha natin ang remainder ay 0, so we can say that this x plus 2 is a factor. So we have 3x to the 4th plus 5x cubed minus x squared plus x minus 2. Then we just substitute lahat ng values ng x as negative 2. So we have here 3 times negative 2 to the 4th plus 5 times negative 2 cubed minus negative 2 squared plus negative 2 minus 2. Again, papalitan lang lahat ng x ng negative 2. Okay, simplify natin. Unahin natin yung exponent bago natin i-multiply doon sa number na katabi. So, we have here negative 2 to the 4th. That is multiplying negative 2 by itself 4 times. So, negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 times negative 2 is 16. So, 16 times 3, we have here 48. Then, negative 2 cubed. So, negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So, negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. Right? Then, negative 2 squared. So, negative 2 squared is positive 4 times negative. So, we have here negative 4. Then, positive times negative is negative 2. Then, negative 2. Equals 48. Then, parehas magkakatulad ng negative. So, we just add and copy negative sign. So, 40 plus 4 is 44 plus 2. 46 plus 2 is 48. Again, magkakatulad ng sign. So, i-add lang natin, then copy yung negative. So, we have 40 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 is 48. So, p of negative 2 equals to 48 minus 48, 0. So, thus, x plus 2 is a factor of p of x. So, since lumabas na ang p of negative 2 ay 0, so we can say that x plus 2 is a factor. So, by applying the factor theorem. So, our next example is quite easy. So, we're going to determine whether x minus 1 is a factor of p of x without actually dividing, where p of x equals x to the 25th minus 1. So, we are going to apply again the factor theorem. So, kapag ang remainder ay 0, so therefore, this x minus 1 is a factor of p of x. So, we are going to use p of positive 1. So, we have x to the 25th minus 1. So, we have here 1 to the 25th minus 1. And then 1 to the 25th is 1 minus 1. So, we have here p of 1 equals to 1 minus 1 is 0. So, as easy as that. So, thus, x minus 1 is a factor of p of x. So instead of dividing, so in-apply lang natin yung factor theorem, and we found out that p of 1 is 0. So there will be no remainder when we divide x to the 25th minus 1 by x minus 1. So therefore, we can say that x minus 1 is one of the factors of x to the 25th minus 1. So for our last example, so we are going to find k so that x plus 3 is a factor of p of x cubed minus 2x squared minus kx plus 12. So therefore, assuming that x plus 3 is a factor of the given p of x, so we are going to apply the factor theorem, and then it should be equal to 0. But since one of the constant is missing, we just substitute p of negative 3 equals to x cubed minus 2x squared minus kx plus 12. So in this case, we are solving for k. Para masabi na itong x plus 3 ay one of the factors of the given polynomial. So we just substitute negative 3 cubed minus 2 times negative 3 squared minus k times negative 3 plus 12. So sinubstitute lang natin lahat ng x as negative 3. So negative 3 cubed is negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. And then negative 3 squared is positive 9 times negative 2 is negative 18. Then negative times negative is positive. 3 times k is 3k. And then we have here plus 12. And then it must be equal to 0 para masabi natin siya ay factors. Okay, again, it should be equal to 0. And then combine like terms. So pagsamahin natin lahat ng coefficients. So we have here negative 27 minus 18. We have here negative 45. So negative 45 plus 12. So we have here 3k minus, again, negative 45 plus 12 is negative 33 equals to 0. And then we just get the additive inverse of negative 33. So we have here 3k equals to negative 33. It will become positive 33. So divide both sides by 3. So k, cancel natin to. Or applying the MPE, we just multiply both sides by 1/3. So 33 divided by 3 is 11. So therefore, the value of k must be 11. So we can now say that x plus 3 is a factor of x cubed minus 2x squared minus 11x. So ito yung value ng ating k plus 12. So I hope that you learned something today. So don't forget to like and share this video. And see you on our next video lesson.